Yeah, this is. I think what sold me was she's convinced that I knew, but had I known
I've mentioned
earlier
it a very lot.
that All Might is in it.
Yeah.
Still waiting to hear All Might. Still waiting for All Might. Hey guys, Grauph Nerdmuma. We got episode 13 of Fruits
13.
Basket.
One of the ones I am most excited for you to watch, and for that I just want to dive on in to see it because I'm just so excited for you to see this episode for reasons.
I just like the last she just met Akito.
Yes.
And he's like just a dick. You showed it real clear.
Akito has issues.
I guess he's a little older than he looked to me. I figured out like he looked like he was 17-ish. Just real, I don't know.
Now we had clarification
younger,
that he's about 20.
About 20s. But yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, alright, let's go.
What will we be able to harvest from the garden in May?
Carrots, turnips, chives.
That's really good nature effects they've got.
Mm-hmm.
Sound right?
Yeah, makes you want to live there.
So am I. You feeling okay?
Oh, I'm fine. A little bit chilly, that's all. I'll let you wrap things up out here.
Great, thank you.
It's been a few days now since I met Akito, the Soma family head. I was worried about Yuki, but he seems to be doing...
Is Akito the snake? Did they say that? His eyes were just, like, those were snake eyes. They just...
It's almost as if somebody undressed here. Could a Zodiac member have... Huh?
Oh no, Miss Honda! I heard you scream. What's wrong?
There's something under my clothes!
Still think it's Akito?
Weak and starving.
I bet Toru will be back before long. If you're really hungry, I've got something that might take the edge off. Let's have a little snack. Delicious and...
Absolute troll.
Can't you find anything better to do than screw with me?
Oh, look at that. The intrepid gardeners have...
Skin this revolting creature and roast its reptilian corpse.
Huh? Oh, hiya. This is a surprise. What brings you here?
Yuki?
I said skin this filthy thing and cook it.
Oh, now, let's all stay calm. This is Ayame Soma. As I'm sure you've realized, he's the snake. Snakes don't tend to do very well in the cold weather. So he transforms like that a lot this time of year.
Winters must be hard on him.
See, there's me, Ayame, and Hattori, all the same age. So we've been together since elementary school. I like to think of us as the Three Musketeers, always looking out for each other.
It's adorable.
Three Musketeers? That's a dumb name.
I can only imagine Hattori's suffering.
So, Yuki, are you going to tell me why we have snake on the menu?
It's too appalling to be spoken out loud.
Oh, come on, don't be so hard on him. After all, he is your own dear brother.
What? If you'll give me a moment, I shall explain the incident myself. I was dreadfully cold, my body weakened. What joy...
Sephiroth Griffith.
When a warm human body approaches me in such a time, I must cling to it. And so, acting on instinct, I did. Greetings all. Hello, Yuki. How have you been, my brother?
It's grown-up Yuki.
Unacceptable. Consider yourself lucky.
Any ideas on who that voice is?
Because I am here!
I think... God, that's so weird. That's like a feminine small.
It's the one we've been waiting for. And
God,
it's
he's,
amazing.
like, holding it in so much because you know what his voice can just boom out like lunch.
Mm-hmm. I love his voice in this. It's incredible.
So Kyonkichi really did come to live here.
I told you not to use that stupid nickname!
Okay, well, Kyonkichi
I said
aside.
stop!
It's been too long, darling.
Yes, it has been.
Did you behave yourself? You better not have cheated on me, you dog.
I would never do such a thing. You know you're the only one for me. Truly.
Oh, wow. He and Yuki may look alike, but that's about it.
So anyway, this is Toru Honda. I'm guessing you came here to meet her?
Yes, indeed I did. My apologies. Hello, I'm Yuki's older brother. Call me Ayame.
Right. Nice to meet you.
Oh, no, not at all. The pleasure is mine, princess. The lone belle in this den of beasts. You poor thing. A captive among foul brutes.
That's enough. You don't need to make fun of her on top of everything else.
I would never. Whatever you may think, I'm paying her the utmost respect. Make some tea, princess. I'm simply parched. And luncheon, too, as quickly as you can.
That's not respect.
Really, why must this be so complicated? All right, then. Come, Toru.
Me?
We shall eat out. No need to fear. It'll be my treat.
First thoughts?
I'm keep picturing like in Small Mite form and like wearing a dress like Cloud.
It's like, it's a different kind of extra, but it's extra.
Oh yeah, he's going all out with it. I mean, it sounds like he's said like 3 times as much as them in the same little bits of
Yeah.
of time.
He is an amazing actor. I just think it's so funny that you started off thinking, is Akito the snake on
The
this
way they
episode?
drew his eyes right before that scene.
I see what
that
you mean,
angle
yeah.
of
It's just funny the way you brought it
like,
up in
sharp
this episode.
serpent cut eyes. I think they let it into that though. His eyes his eyes look like snake eyes, and then they had the snake darting out and then her screaming in it.
And it's usually associated with the snake is usually like the sly one, the vindictive one, in like typical historical pop culture stuff. So I see what
just
you were saying.
think of him as reclusive more.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
he's way outgoing for what I would think a snake. They just they chill under rocks and keep to themselves all day until they're hungry.
You and the others will be fine on their own. They're not helpless children. I promise they can fend for themselves.
Talk about hair envy though.
All they've done.
His
I
incredible
just want
hair.
to treat you to a meal. Is that too much to ask?
Oh no, of course not. I mean, it was very generous of you to offer.
Indeed. Excuse me, we'll have 2 gyoza plates.
Coming up.
I'm just along for the ride. Honestly, I'm surprised. In all the time I've known him, Yuki's never said anything about having a brother.
It's not something he'd be likely to mention. As you can tell, we don't exactly get along. There's a 10-year difference in our ages. And Yuki was a sickly baby. He was kept more or less quarantined from the time he was born. So basically, I did as I pleased and barely spared him a thought beyond occasionally remembering I had a brother. By the time I noticed it, the rift between us had grown deep, with steep cliffs to either side, too wide to traverse. Yuki seems well. I heard that Akito came to visit your school.
Yes.
That can't have been easy. I won't tell you the details myself, but to Yuki, Akito is a source of terror. It's more extreme than the fear the rest of us feel. Honestly, I came to check in on him more than to meet you. But he seems to be doing just fine, which was, frankly, disappointing. I thought I'd finally have a chance to act like a big brother.
You know, my mom said something once. She only understood how parents felt after she had me and became one. No matter how old she got, she refused to let herself forget. The first time she did a flip on the jungle gym, the first time she got yelled at. Maybe she couldn't completely understand, but she could still meet them halfway.
And besides, life is more fun like that, don't you think?
I just want to take a minute to mention how much I loved that bit there, because she's not just talking about Kyoko talking about remembering what it's like to be a child, not just the playful times, but how you felt when things weren't good as well. Because if you can remember how you felt at that age, then you're more likely to be empathetic.
I think that's why people with, like, especially, I'd say pre-18, like childhood to teen trauma, are more empathetic in general. Like, yeah, you have the ones that just completely snap and there's no saving, but compared to if they had just had a normal, peaceful life, they probably wouldn't even have thought about, you know, other people in a hard situation.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I think every parent has something that a parent has done that they don't necessarily want to do with their child, whether they had a good relationship with their parents or not. It's just, as the generations evolve and the life evolves around those generations, those points of view change, and the way we teach our kids change. Like, when it's just a perfect example of how we were completely told as kids, like, oh, you video games are bad for you, they're going to make you terrible, and too much screen time is bad for you. And then we look at our 3-year-old, where we are careful with the amount of screen time, mostly because we don't want his neck to be adjusted, but at the same time he's also taught himself how to count in multiple languages, so it's not like he's just rotting his brain away on these things. He's learning.
3-year-olds aren't supposed to be spelling and doing math.
And no, they're not. So it's, and no, it's part of it's just the way his brain works absorbs it, but it's finding that balance of, yes, experience the outside world, but we also live in a technological world, so
Yeah, hold on to the childhood.
hold on to the childhood. Yeah.
The other night I just set up a couch for no reason, knowing that he would wake up and come out to it. And it's just, I remember that feeling, being smaller, being able to, like, climb through cardboard tunnels and stuff. It's just as good getting it to do, like, you know, getting to set it up for him.
Yeah, like, reclaim some of your childhood, but yeah. Make sure to keep theirs as well.
Oh, that was probably way more than you really wanted to listen to, but basically what I'm trying to say is you and Yuki can meet each other halfway. It's not too late. I'm sorry.
It's okay, really. That was actually insightful.
I know! My mom's the best in the whole world.
No, I was talking about you.
Here you go.
Our food, excellent. Well then, shall we?
Yes, please.
Do something.
And that's one of those tiny details I adore, is the chopsticks not breaking perfectly. It's such a tiny little detail, but it just makes the world more real and more immersive. I love it.
Hello? Anyone home?
Miss Honda, you're back.
Yep. Did you three end up finding something to eat?
Forget that. Did my brother do anything to upset you?
No, he took me to lunch. It was delicious. Hey, Yuki? I was wondering, would you say that you hate your brother? Never mind. It's really none of my business. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess it's more that I find him difficult. I can never tell what he's thinking, and we're so different.
Then those are obstacles we must overcome. Now is the time for us to meet each other halfway.
Okay, brother.
I'm sorry, but he transformed again right after we left the restaurant, and then he told me that sometimes snakes can die if they get too cold, so...
And we wouldn't want that.
You're no brother of mine, you scum!
Yuki didn't see it, but for a moment at the restaurant, Ayame had the most brotherly expression on his face.
He's such a character, and I love it.
God, it's so weird, because there's, like, scenes I can specifically remember of, like, Small Might talking, but then even there's moments when he was in, like, full All Might, and he had, like, a ring to his voice, but this is just more, like, he's still hitting some of the bass notes.
Oh yeah, when he's having a serious
talk.
conversation and not being flashy.
I'm trying to remember, was Armstrong,
Armstrong.
did he ever go lighter with his voice? I don't know.
Like the more feminine way he's talking in this? No, I don't think so. I'd never heard him speak like this before. Because it was one of those, I was surprised when I found it out, but now that I know it, I hear it. Because he is, in my opinion, one of the best dubbed voice actors.
Voice I love.
He is amazing. I'd love to see him in the recording booth to see what that's like.
5 more minutes. I was left with no other choice. Yuki locked his door and forbid me entry into his room.
Well, Shigure's got a room too, you idiot.
No, that wouldn't do. He never lets me get a lick of sleep.
Careful now, honey. Think of the kids.
Just stop. How much longer?
Ignore him.
Really? Aya's visiting? I haven't seen him since New Year's. He lives on the outside too.
Oh yeah? I didn't realize that.
Maybe I should come say hello. Oh, I wouldn't want to get in the way of any brotherly bondage time. Would you be glad to see Aya?
Well,
There he is.
Yuki Puki. The shop though. Who's running it while Aya's away? I mean, he's the owner.
nobody told me that Ayame ran his own business.
It's true. He sells wedding dresses, along with nurses' uniforms and maid outfits.
So kind of like a boutique.
It's a shop for men's fantasies. That's what he says.
Heavens!
He's
what
still
good
here.
balls.
He's
Coming
still
straight
here.
home from school without dawdling. Were you that eager to see me again?
You're looking at a photo album, huh?
Mm-hmm. From our high school days. How young we were. See? Tori's there too.
3 handsome devils.
Yes. Wow, so you were already wearing your hair long back when you were a teenager.
Indeed. Though it was against the rules.
Huh?
Your turn, Yuki. Come take a look-see. Get to know your brother.
Not interested.
Always so stubborn. Very well, then. You leave me no choice but to tell the story of why I was permitted to keep my hair long.
I may have let your hair color slide, but I don't remember approving that length. Get it cut before tomorrow.
But, sir, I can explain.
I said no. Rules exist to be followed, young man.
I am a member of the royal family.
Huh?
I've kept it a secret until now, but I'm actually from another country.
What are you talking about?
It's true. The members of our royal line must always wear their hair long, as was dictated by a divine revelation given to our first king, Lulubara, at the tender age of 4. Well, you might wonder where the great Kashipalu was at this time. He was in his chambers, sleeping soundly as a bud waiting to flower. But then his heart suddenly began to beat faster, and he spoke. Campanile! He cried out.
So much bullshit, he's forgotten the argument already.
I haven't explained Kandla yet.
It's fine. You can have long hair.
And thus he was persuaded. My locks were unshorn.
Wait, you're royalty from another country?
You're unbelievable.
But wait, I have an even more unbelievable tidbit. Aya was student council president.
Really? That's amazing.
He was more popular back then than you might think. Sure, some of it was due to his good looks, but what really drew people in was just how sensational he was.
Stop messing around. Let's go.
He changed rules and generally shook things up. Suddenly school was a lot more fun. Who knows? Maybe he had a natural talent for leadership.
Oh, I'm not so sure. Honestly, I always thought Tori would have been a
Hold on,
better...
let me just go back to that sec. Here, I love how right here you have a 100% idea of what each of them is like based off this one bit with what they're wearing, how they're wearing it, how they're standing. I think the show is particularly good at, you can pause it and just know so much about their personalities by looking at them.
Well, you know. You remember the school trip, don't you?
Sure. And everything that came after.
After? Did something happen?
He's interested. Yuki wants to know about his brother's past. This is real progress. Now's your chance, Ayame. Cross that rift.
On the trip, a few of the students took a detour. I'm sad to say, they paid a visit to the pleasure district.
What?
Now, wait. Don't pass judgment without hearing their side. Any red-blooded boy might find themselves doing the same in their situation. And for what...
Had a marine biology field trip in the 11th grade. So we went to the beach. It's a marine biology class. It's boys, girls, everything. We're out there swimming like neck deep in water. There's a dock. It's a ways off, but this is ocean, you know, it's from... So someone pops the idea, oh, we should all skinny dip out here. Like nobody, like there's no teachers, nothing. Like, hell yeah. And then there's a bunch of commotion on the dock. And this guy reels in like a 4 or 5 foot shark, guts it on the beach, and there's babies, and we were just like, yep, nope, mood's we're out of the water now. So
Wow, that's great.
shark that stopped skinny dipping.
It's worth, we didn't go alone.
We were over that scene. So, last year.
Did he seriously just admit to that?
But alas, in a stroke of bad luck, the
Shameless.
teachers learned of their transgression, and they vengefully declared that the students should be expelled. Of course, I protested this in my capacity
Yes,
as president. And so, a meeting was held.
I never noticed that before.
Minors such as ourselves journeying into a pleasure district is certainly not something of which we should be proud.
Spit it on to the people that were supposed to be watching them.
Very true.
Self is being rejected, treated as a source of evil. I ask you this. What is sexual desire, if not the force that drives us to maintain the great unbroken chain of human history? And so I'd like to make the following proposal to the youth out there struggling with adolescent lust. Suffer no longer! That's right. From this day forward, direct your lust toward me! It is only natural that I, the student's representative, should bear the burden of their desires. And as these acts will be between men, there will be less cause for fear. Indeed. I know you must be wondering,
You're that simple,
am I
right?
a bottom or am I a top? Well, I am a bottom all the way!
Figured he'd be either, didn't care.
The end. Quite a moving story, don't you think?
Try, idiot!
Excuse you? They all escaped expulsion thanks to that speech.
You're kidding, right?
It helped that Hattori stepped in and smoothed things over afterwards.
Now tell me, Yuki, don't you feel like you understand your brother a little better?
Get out right now.
Shigure, do something about this jerk!
We're hell-bent on finding the
Why?
perpetrator.
This is fun.
Yes, I'm having a great time.
Well, you're driving the rest of us crazy!
I can't help anyway. I've never been able to control Aya. The only person he listens to...
Hey, if you leave your door unlocked, anyone can walk in.
Hattori!
Speak of the devil.
Tori, why, what brings you here?
Hatsuharu, he told me to come collect you. You've had a nice long visit. Now it's time to go. Come on.
Okay, bye-bye. Yuki, what with all the commotion, I fear we had little time to chat. But dear brother, worry not, for I shall come see you again soon.
That's exactly what I'm worried about.
Behave yourselves.
What the hell just happened?
For the most part, Aya doesn't listen to anybody, but he listens to Hattori.
He really does. Why is that?
Admiration, he says. Hattori has qualities he wishes he had, but doesn't. So he looks up to the doc. Their friendship has always been very important to him. I guess what it comes down to is that he loves Hattori.
So because Ayame respects the guy, Hattori got stuck being his keeper?
Also accurate.
This must have been inconvenient. My apologies for that.
Instead of being sorry afterward, maybe you should try thinking before you act.
I assure you I did. Alas, I just can't seem to get Yuki to open up to me.
Yuki isn't stupid or cold, but he is still a kid. There are some concessions that he's not ready to make yet. He'll come around.
God, that's so
I
gorgeous.
like Toru. She reminds me of you a little bit. You'll both do anything to help other people. That's a quality I find irresistible. What can I say? How do you always know exactly what it is I want to hear?
It was a crazy couple of days, but Ayame sure is fun.
No, he's a hopeless airhead.
Well, I don't know if I would say that.
Still, he can admire someone for having qualities he lacks. Instead of being jealous, he cherishes their friendship. I think that's pretty great. Haru, are you okay? Yeah, it's just... I want to thank you for, well, you know...
Just realised him and Haru have a similar relationship with, like, Hattori and Ayame.
Don't you think?
Oh no! I forgot to ask him what kind of stores his nurse and maid outfits. Now I may never know.
Whoa, say what? A sex shop of some kind?
That's how they end that episode.
They didn't show them at all until the very last second.
No, they didn't for that best moment. So that is Ayame. What a tornado of a character.
God, he's got so much energy in that voice.
Like, to be able to talk with that much conviction as well. Like, even if you know what you're saying is absolute crap, if you say it with enough confidence and bravado, and just, you can get anywhere in life. But yeah, I love that about his character as well, that just to be able to admire someone for having qualities that you don't have but wish you did is such... He knows who he is and has, like, accepted that. Instead of just constantly wishing that you could be different, just appreciate the people that have those qualities that you don't necessarily have. And over time, you might even just develop having some of those qualities just based off being around them.
That lack of jealousy. It's
It's rare. It's very rare.
It's a weird trait but jealousy is a choice anyway. You can just not think about someone.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they don't exist. I've never watched an episode of the Kardashians. Like, I have no idea. Like, I don't care, but I have no idea, like, anything that led into that other than, an ex-Olympian.
Yeah.
Attached to there. That's the only thing I know about them, but...
I didn't even know that until years after the show came out. You had to tell me who Bruce Jenner was. I almost said Bruce Banner. Bruce Jenner was, because just he was an American Olympian, so I didn't grow up hearing, like, you were like, how do you not hear his name?
Was Married with Children. Like, growing up watching Married with Children.
But yes, he is a great character, and we've now got the Three Musketeers fully introduced, and him and Sugar Ray's relationship. I love when friends are so close that they can just banter like that. And they know it winds people up, and so they can tell that's why it's certainly, at least Sugar Ray, that's why he does it, to just wind people up. It's great.
Chaotic of any alignment.
And I also like that the problem wasn't solved in that episode either. When a relationship has that kind of strain of just, having that age gap is really difficult, and you'll start to learn more why I guess I may let that distance happen to begin with. There's just more to it than an age gap. But it's the kind of thing that just can only be fixed in the more you spend time together. And I may, as much as his, I would only assume, ADHD brain will let him, he's still trying, there was a moment that he knew would be potentially traumatic for his brother, so he came by, and Yuki learning that little fact about him admiring someone for qualities that he doesn't have, that's starting to repair it.
They're really good with, like, sliding in character development too, without, like, really brute forcing some of it. Just some of the reactions they have within, and just, referencing the garden again, just showing, the sides of the people that exist. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, again, not just summed up in one episode, like, oh, they had a riff and now they're best friends again. It's just like, no, it's not going to happen that quickly. So yeah, that's a great one. So glad. That's one of those ones I'm glad we got through, because it's been so hard not to tell you who the snake was.
So much. I just kept hearing, like, I was like, clench your butt cheeks.
So clench your butt cheeks, kid. And yell this from the depths of your heart!
Was it clench your butt cheeks and listen to what's in your heart as well? Like, it's weirdly wholesome.
Ayame and wanting to smash all the time.
I will put in the exact quote there because I can't remember exactly, but it's a good one from My Hero.
Snuck off to the red light district to smash.
But he's one of those voice actors that's basically like, if you told me that he voiced just one character in a series, I would watch that series just to hear that. He is so talented. When people complain about the dub acting, like, he's one of those top contenders to be like, no, actually, there's some really good ones out there, and he is a prime example of that. He's incredible. So, yes. Very, very glad we watched that episode. I've been chomping at the bit, like, for a week and a half when I found out this was the next episode. Like, oh, we need to watch it, but we just haven't had time. So
we just rewatched episode 4 of My Hero. I'm just doing the little video calling. How many more of these do you want me to do? He has moments where he's talking quieter, and not in his deep booming voice. But first time I've ever heard him throw like the feminine side on.
Yes, it's definitely. I would say he is the perfect textbook definition of the word flamboyant. Just everything that he does is larger than life. His hair is down to his ankles. He always wears flowing clothes. It's just, everything's extra, and I love it. I love it so much. I think that's that. Great fun episode. So glad you watched it.
Soon.
Hope you do another one soon.
Go to sleep and have some energy left. All right.
Not play the video games
Yeah.
as much. We've just gotten into that. It's been really fun. Yeah, I think we'll see you guys next time.
All right, keep grinding, guys. Do your thing. Just keep grinding.
Bye.